So here's a classic example of why it's so important to write things down. It's been about a month since I've been working on the Humvee, and right now I'm trying to get these seats in, and then I can paint this thing and start putting some parts in it, insulation, etc. So what I just did was put the bracket in for the passenger rear, or the driver's side rear seat. This was a lot easier than the other one. The other one I had to pretty much put the seat in position to figure out where it needed to go. But with this, I was able to measure off the other one and put it in the same spot elevation wise, and then fore and aft, and also was able to position the connector piece right here to locate these holes, and that way I get the right offset inboard outboard with the seat. So that was considerably easier the second time around. But now I've got an interesting problem again, which is on this side the seats aren't the same, because the driver's seat is going to still have its seat sled so you can move forward and aft, and fortunately there's no narrowing in the tunnel here, or widening I guess of the tunnel, so there's space for that. But since the driver needs to touch the pedals and the pedals aren't moving, the seat needs to move. So this sled will still be there. And all I really have to go on from a month ago was this, which is my height, and that actually helped me figure out what all the parts that were cut that were laying on my workbench were. This is the measurement for the front, the back, which really doesn't matter too much. And then I was trying to figure out, at one point I knew how to offset the seat because this one now is wider than the footprint of the rear seat. And kind of lucky enough, I went to grab the part I was going to mount it with, and it happened to be pinned to the other seat sled which I was using to mock up the parts, just kind of pinned there with a drill bit. So it looks like this is one of the last things I set down, and I can start again with that. But the idea again is just like this. I'm going to have a piece of angle stuck to the side of the tunnel, which the seat's going to ride on, and then chassis basically fore and aft here, which is welded together out of steel and holds the seats vertically. So that's the plan. Hopefully we can figure it out from here. All right, so I've got to position the driver's seat fore and aft, and then I can figure out where to put the brackets in. So I connected back to my battery so I could run the fore and aft function of the seat for the sled, which is these green wires here. Basically I've got 10 inches of throw from back to front, and here it is in the aftmost position. As I measure from the back of this track to the back of the seat, that's 6 inches, and then the total length of the seat is about 23. So I can basically put that 6-inch mark wherever I want the back of the track to locate, like that, and that will show me that the seat's going to reach in that position up to here, plus 10 inches further forward from that. So I think that's probably about where I'm going to locate it, but it'll be just a little bit of messing around, making sure I'm thinking through everything before I do it. All right, so we're looking down at the BMW seat in the Humvee from the crow's nest up here, and basically I tried to measure, I tried to do it the lazy way, I tried to imagine in my mind where this thing would go, but there's nothing quite like putting it right where it goes and then making it so. And what I was able to do is, looking at my design, this thing, the bracket it sits on is going to be 140 millimeters high off the floor. So that's easy. It's right about 5.5 inches, which turns out is about the perfect size for a 2x6. So I took two 2x6s and put them in there, stuck the seat on it. Now I can slide on the 2x6s and put that thing exactly where it's going to go. And previously I was worried about how far aft I could go, but that problem kind of solves itself because the track runs into the B-pillar. So you can only go back to that far, and then it hits it, and there's nowhere to go that way. So that's where it's going to be. In fact, that makes sense because I ended up cutting the tracks in the back, just the extra distance there. And that was probably because that B-pillar is there, but I forgot I did that, so I had to learn it again. But basically, this is where the seat's gonna sit, and then I can power it and move it, and we'll see what kind of range it'll get. But that's probably gonna be it, and I'll just build it and make it happen. All right, so I've got the seat sitting where it is, and I guess we're gonna see how much range it's got. So this will be the first test of the power seat electrified in the Humvee. And I know what you're thinking, that's pretty impressive. You've got an electric seat powered in a Humvee. And while I'm impressed as you are, I don't think yet in this current state it's going to impress my friends. So there's more work ahead, but right now, let's see what we got. All right, so we're moving forward. Yep, getting uncomfortable. All right, so that's the maximum range forward of the Humvee seat. So in case I get really, really old and need to sit right up on the dashboard or look over the front and inspect the front of the tires, well, I shouldn't need this much range at all. So let's see how far back it'll go again. Waiting to see if it clears the B-pillar, no crunches. Okay, good. All right, so good range. Feel like where the pedals will be, this will be pretty comfortable, especially once I recline it. That'll change some of the geometry on it. So let's see what we got here with the recline function. That's a lot more comfortable, a little bit better. Probably something about like that. Very comfortable. So we'll leave that at that. This upper part will also articulate. Let's see here. That's those wires. So a lot of support there, pretty comfy. All around good program. So the good news is I think we've located exactly where to put this seat. So now I can measure and cut and build. And then once that's done, this seat will go in and it'll be sitting right about exactly here. So that's the plan. Power seats in the Humvee, finally.